What is up, kids and cubs? Welcome back. I'm the Wolvy 114, and today we're probably gonna have a bit of a shorter stream today. There we go. Forgot that was muted from last conference. What was the last conference? Square Enix. Yeah, a lot of mixed reception after that Square Enix conference. A lot of people comparing Guardians to Avengers, which I get that Square Enix plus Marvel equals bad to a lot of people. Hold on, let me crank this down a little bit here. But at the same time, it's being approached entirely different from an entirely different dev team. So I don't really understand a lot of the criticism on that front. I don't know. But, and okay, so I was so focused during the Final Fantasy Origins trailer, I was so focused on just the visuals and the brutality of the kills, I wasn't even listening to the dialogue. The dude says, "I must kill Chaos" like 20 times in like one trailer. It's like, okay, we get it. I don't know. It looks like a fun game, and it looks like it'll be interesting and have a cool story. But damn, that dialogue was a little rough. Let me see, what else was there? There was a bunch of stuff in the Xbox conference yesterday that was really cool. During my recap yesterday, I entirely forgot to mention the Sea of Thieves crossover, which is one of my most anticipated things coming out of that Xbox conference. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Let me close this. I don't know how much computer power it's taking, but just shut that down for now. I don't need it up. I had Steam running in the background. Probably didn't do a whole lot, but not that there's any issues in the first place, but whatever. So yeah, there's that. So today we're gonna be watching the Capcom conference, which I'm not expecting anything massive coming out of this. Capcom has a lot of big titles, but I doubt we're gonna see anything outside of maybe like the fighting game segment. We could see some stuff. Who knows? We might get another of the Monster Hunter Stories trailers that came out at the Game Awards. We could. I'm expecting Street Fighter. Some Street Fighter news, probably revealing that last character. But in terms of like Devil May Cry, that's gonna be at a bigger conference if they have any announcements about that. I don't know. With Capcom's like bigger games, they usually put them into other conferences. Although I don't think they've had an E3 conference on their own. I think they're one of the ones that kind of filled in when some of the bigger names pulled out, like what was it? Sony and EA pulled out, and then like a bunch of other companies filled in. Yeah, exactly. Also, hey Heretic, how you doing? I'm expecting to see what the final character. I think we're gonna get Akira gameplay. Before she gets released, and I think we're gonna get the final character that they've been keeping hidden. I think we're gonna get a teaser for that. Because it feels like they're really that they kept this character in the dark, and it's the only one they kept in the dark for so long for a reason. It's got to be a big character. I'm assuming it's going to be a guest character, but if it is an old classic fan favorite, also wouldn't be mad. I think it's a guest character though, considering they've kept it under wraps for so long. But who knows? We'll see. MVC, I don't know if they would do that. I know they were working on MVC 4, but then also NetherRealm has the Marvel rights. So I don't know if Marvel is having 2 fighting games at the same time being produced. Or what? But, we'll see, I suppose. We'll see how that goes. I really don't know what to expect out of this conference outside of Street Fighter. They might surprise me. They might drop, like DMC something, or who knows? Who knows what they're gonna drop? But I'm not really anticipating anything. It ain't Capcom without MVC. Well, we haven't had anything MVC since Infinite came out. And crashed and burned. Which was unfortunate, but because the gameplay was good, but dear God, those visuals and the storyline were just yeah, it's like it really sucks because the gameplay itself, like the fighting game mechanics, were polished and top-notch and really good, and then the visuals and story and dialogue just just really fumbled the ball on all of that. So I really doubt we're gonna see. I don't even know if we're ever going to get another MVC. I know they said they were working on it, but if NetherRealm has the Marvel fighting game license now, we might never get another MVC, which kind of sucks, but Infinite might have killed it. We don't know. Like, because the last we heard about, like, MVC 4 was years ago. And then we just heard about the NetherRealm stuff, like, within the past month. So who knows what's gonna happen on that. I wouldn't hold my breath for an MVC. Yeah, really all I'm expecting out of this is Street Fighter. It might be an entire Street Fighter conference. Everybody plays MVC 2 more anyway, yeah. Which really sucked, because before all the controversy happened with EVO, they were planning on having MVC 2 at EVO, and then that just entirely, like, it, yeah, that was unfortunate. Alright. Got about 40 seconds left. I'm gonna switch over. And UMVC 3. Yeah. I tried playing some UMVC 3 recently. I'm just not that good at the MVC games. But they're fun, I suppose. Yeah, I really don't know what to expect out of this. I'll probably see some games that we just haven't really heard of before. I wonder if we'll get any more information on that one game that they premiered a couple years ago. The one that looks like a Kojima game, but it's a Capcom game. I forget the name of it. But it had like the robot girl. And they were on the moon. I really doubt we're gonna see anything Resident Evil. Just because it literally just released. Like, RE8 just released, I doubt we're gonna see anything, unless they've been working on DLC in the background. I would like to see some DLC for RE8. But, again, not holding my breath.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase.
No, I actually haven't played the Virtua Fighter games.
AKA Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news, and updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom-ference. So what are we waiting for?
So we are hearing from the Village team.
Our first stop today, Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month.
Village is amazing. I've done like 5 or 6 playthroughs already.
Story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
It's for your PS Plus right now? Oh, cool.
Another time.
Yeah, I haven't checked out what this month's games are, so I might as well check those out.
There's nothing to fear.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
God, this game was so good.
I think it's
I think it was better than anyone was really expecting.
Go on, rest now.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer.
I already have Squadrons. So.
Where players
in fact, I gotta finish that on stream soon.
Resident Evil heroes and bioweapons.
Yeah, RE-verse still hasn't
announced that Resident
launched.
Evil RE-verse will go live next month.
Next month?
All supported platforms.
Okay.
So head into the fray to celebrate the Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
By popular demand, development has just started on additional DLC for Village. Hell yes! More info later. Okay, so we got confirmed DLC.
Thank you, Kanda-san, for that wonderful update.
Ooh, that's loud.
Next up, some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's adventuring alongside monsters or battling them with friends, we've got something for you. First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series.
Stories 2.
Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin.
Music loud!
This was his fate. Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
All around things just
I guess spoilers for Stories 1.
But I heard that Guardian
I don't know anything about the story
and
series.
returned to Hekolu Island. I went there to see Red's old monster again. Then, of course, that's when I met you.
You were given Red's kinship stone, and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
This is the legendary
Oh, look at the baby!
Wing Ratha, the monster with the wings of ruin.
It's said that a
It was a little baby.
bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
So it's like It's like Pokemon, but for Monster Hunter? Cool.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will.
It's about friendship.
And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves? All I have are questions.
If there's worry or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too. He needs to know that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the flames of his life force weakening. The burden of such great power is too much for his body to bear.
I feel like we're seeing a lot of the plot here. Like, too much of the plot.
A voice. Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
They have the power of kinship. They're friends. They're monsties. Humans carry the strength of everyone they meet. That makes them strong. My friends here taught me that. I believe in the strength of humanity.
Alright. Probably a lot of people really excited about that. Ah, free updates for Rise. Or no, this is still stories. I saw the dog and thought Rise, but I guess that's... Yeah, the Palamute. Okay, so they're just taking the monster from Rise and putting it into stories. Okay. Oh, little costumes. Oh, amiibos. Oh, and then armor. Cool, cool, cool.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new monsties in the first free
this
title
presentation's
update coming
a lot
soon
like
after the game's release.
Bigger than I thought it would be.
You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter
Like, going into a lot
Stories
more
2
stuff than I
Wings
thought
of
it would.
Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt. Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
More stuff for Rise. Makes sense. Rise has been a big success.
This is for my fellow hunters.
More stories.
Rathalos is no runt. Moon's blessing emerge. Get ready.
Oh.
I have a good feeling. What will it be? Moon's blessing emerge.
Costumes, armor. That makes sense. Yeah, layered armor. It's essentially just cosmetics you can put on, you can put on top of your normal armor to make it look certain ways, while still keeping the defense benefits of your current armor.
is a penguin! Oh,
Do you think you can take on Rondine?
oh, a penguin!
Cool.
And a little owl. Oh.
I love them.
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan, with all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters
Phoenix
to explore
Wright! I
with the
forgot they were
release of
working
the
on
Great
new
Ace
stuff
Attorney
here.
Chronicles. North American and European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan. You'll travel
Yeah,
back
this
in time
was
to
a
the
big
late
thing when it was
19th
announced
century
that this
Japan
was gonna
and
happen.
London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright's ancestor, in this action-packed prequel. Now, let's hear more about the story.
Because, like, these games were big hits in Japan, and then now they're coming to the West, so that's cool.
Welcome to the center of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Who are you?
Herlock Sholmes. You must have heard of me.
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san.
Let us engage in the art of deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, what have we here? It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
I mean, yeah, it's just more Phoenix Wright, essentially, but...
So we have 10
With different
new
characters.
cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney. Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right?
Oh, new content?
Let's take a closer
On
first
top of
look
what
at
was
2
already there, or
gameplay
that's
features
just
new to the
what's
franchise
there?
in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles: Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Jonathan, Capcom's marketing brand manager for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
Where to?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
Yeah, so they're adding new content on top of what was already there.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come across conspicuous situations that require further examination with the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid Susato and the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock. Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series of conjectures.
Huh.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions. At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery. As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
Cool. Looks like some interesting game mechanics there.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will
So I
be
guess this
displayed
isn't new
and
content,
represented
it's
by 2
just
scales of
new
justice,
to this
one
game,
black,
which we've
representing
never
a
gotten
guilty
in the
verdict,
West before.
and 1 white,
So.
representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation examination, take the stand to face off against the jurors, all of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty verdict.
You'll have to identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor. Examine each statement carefully and select 2 contradicting jurors to call out the flaws in their logic.
Objection!
Be ready to provide evidence from the court record to help prove the contradiction in their claims. When you successfully point out one of these contradictions among the jurors, you might just change their minds, too. With a slam of their fist, each juror you persuade will send a fiery ball towards the scales above and literally tip the scales of justice in your favor. Bring each contradiction to light and persuade the jury to help prove your client's innocence.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
This has just been a small taste of the exciting new gameplay features in the
Yeah, it
Great
looks like
Ace
fun.
Attorney
I
Chronicles.
probably...
We're very excited
I don't know.
to get this game in the hands of both new fans and diehard fans alike. Thanks for watching.
I don't know, it looks like fun. Might try it out at some point, probably not on
Already
stream.
seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to.
It seems like one of those things that would just be fun to play on,
Let's look
man.
at the new premieres from Capcom. But what about esports? Let's close out
Oh,
today's
boy.
showcase with a few words
Oh.
from 2 of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV and Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other content.
I saw
on
Street
Capcom
Fighter and I got
Fighters.
it. I got
Over to you
excited,
guys.
but looks like they're just gonna be talking about esports.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Capcom esports presentation for E3 2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as well as Street Fighter League, here with competitive Street Fighter V player and host extraordinaire, Hollywood, Rob TV. What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious. Host extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it. And I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter V, Capcom E3. It just feels right and you feel the electricity in the air. Nice! Nice! What? That was nasty! And there might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter V is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your region, sign up for Capcom Pro Tour to prove it and become possibly a world champion at Street Fighter V.
The double perfect, the way he looked at the camera.
Yikes! Don't ever expect another man's controller.
So in this year's CPT overall, it's a series of tournaments that have $5,000 on the line for each tournament, but that money alone, that's not what's really at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom Cup.
Item just reset in grand finals of Capcom Cup.
So behind me, you can see in all of its glory, the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set, and that's a place that you are very, very familiar with.
That's right, we take all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across.
But are we gonna get any news
so there's
on
so many
Street
opportunities
Fighter?
for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021. And Mago is your first qualifier for Japan for the Capcom Pro Tour. Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do so on a plethora of platforms.
Yeah, I mean, the matches themselves are pretty fun to watch sometimes.
If you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs
But
for all the competitive studying you would need to become a successful Street Fighter V player, as well as catching some of the community-focused content that we have on Capcom Fighters. We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in an exhibition first to 10. Not only that, actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3, duke it out in this battle tournament series to see who will walk away with the championship and the $150,000 prize pool.
Street Fighter League is something that you don't want to miss because normally
I don't know if you guys have ever watched
1v1 content.
competitive
Now,
fighting games,
You actually have your teammates
but
at your
holy
back,
hell,
and every decision that you
it
make
gets
is
pretty
not just
intense
about
at
shooting
times.
more.
Especially competitive Smash. I love watching highlight videos from competitive Smash because it's just like some of the craziest things that you would never even think of happening.
Let's not forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now. Top players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month. Be sure to check out the official website for more information, including current standings and broadcast schedule.
To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive competitor title and dojo object. You do not want to miss this.
I highly recommend everyone to stay tuned for future.
I just don't have a whole lot of commentary on this entire segment, sorry.
And again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the action does not stop. In fact, we're going to be continuing off with the Midwest region for the Capcom Pro Tour. I know you're definitely excited about that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy is from Ohio. Make sure you guys tune in to see the tournament.
You do not want to miss some of the best Street Fighter V players in the world compete head-to-head.
So it's you. I dare you to find better Street Fighter. I dare you.
This is a game about being a world warrior. Capcom tournament play. Obviously, they got a rivalry.
I'm the best in the world. This game has changed the lives of so many people here.
Like, I feel like this would make a good segue to go into, like, to go into Street Fighter news. But oh no.
Thanks, guys. It's been a really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year.
Oh, that's it?
Let's recap what we all saw. Resident Evil Village is back.
Sometimes they're like, but there's one more.
Survival horror
But
experience and RE-verse.
I am excited for what's coming next for
We have
Village
new adventures
because
to
Village is
embark on
just
in the world of Monster
amazing.
Hunter, with
I love
Monster Hunter Stories 2,
I love
Wings
it.
of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise. And don't forget to go back in time with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest matches with Capcom Fighters. There really is something for everyone here today. But don't go anywhere yet. Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom virtual booth on the E3 portal to watch all these videos again and more. I'm Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer. Thank you for being part of the Capcom experience at E3 this year.
Alright, so that's it, I guess. Huh. I was hoping for, like, something Street Fighter related, but doesn't look like it. Huh. Well, Monster Hunter looks fun, as always. Village, can't wait for to see what's upcoming with that DLC. Hopefully, hopefully that turns out pretty good. RE-verse getting delayed another month. I'm glad we got it free. It came free with RE Village, and RE Village is a full and entire game in and of itself, so just waiting to see what the hell is gonna happen with that. So hopefully we'll see something coming up soon about that DLC. Although it said they just started production, so it might be a little bit. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm the one thing that I was sure of that they were gonna talk about, was the one thing they didn't talk about. So, I wonder when we're gonna get the announcement for the character then. I guess we'll see. Alright, what's upcoming on the schedule soon? So tomorrow we've got the Nintendo Direct and Nintendo Treehouse. I'll watch the Direct, don't know about the Treehouse. We'll see if there's anything interesting from the Direct going into the Treehouse, because then that might be cool. Then later on in the day we get Bandai Namco, which I'll probably check out. There might be some interesting stuff in there. And I think that'll wrap up my coverage of E3. But we'll see. So tomorrow it's 9 a.m. Pacific, so that's about noon my time. So I'll probably go live about 11:50 or so, right beforehand. Get that ready. If I wake up in time, I'm going to set my alarm today. That was a mistake that I'm not making again. And then the Bandai Namco presentation is not going to come to me until 5:25, so I'm probably going to do 2 streams tomorrow then, rather than just one super long stream. Because I don't know what I would do to fill up that time. So yeah, that's gonna call it for me today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm excited for what Capcom's got in the future, and I feel like they took up a lot of time with that esports stuff, but that's okay. You know, it's their conference. They have some cool esports stuff, so they can show off. But yeah, guess I'll see you guys tomorrow for Nintendo, which Nintendo at E3 is always a big thing. So we'll see what we get there. I'm really excited. Probably some more Smash stuff. Probably some Breath of the Wild. I don't know. I'll do more speculation tomorrow beforehand. But thank you all for stopping by. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I'll see you around.